Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. How you doing? It's Real Talk Night. Tonight we get to hang out and address some issues as they relate to you, me, and everybody. Where we look at why we do the things we do, how we relate to each other. Just try to figure out life. We kick it off tonight with a sound of curls. She said, listen, nothing to do with love. That's the title of the track right here. Start to them curls. Girls, listen, it have nothing to do with love. So if you talking love and no, just say what's love got to do with it. Just for tonight, that's all. Love not have nothing to do with it. Wanna say big ups to the affiliates who are locked in tonight. Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. How you doing? Big ups to NIE Radio up there in New Jersey. Motivate, what you say? Want to say thank you to those who are locked in on the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele and tune in. And of course, those on PEMG TV. And right here at the home of Night Shift with DJ Kevin Steele, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment, kevinsteele.com. Welcome. Want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Paul C Media Group. When being in the moment is priceless. They take care of your videography, your photography, your streaming, and your ads. Give them a call, 754-999-1140. at 754-999-1140. Or you can check them out at paulcmg.com. Tonight, tomorrow night, next week. Lick them, they'll take care of you. I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on Facebook Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody locked on right now. So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you, and you have my word. I wouldn't even try. So it's real talk, right? And tonight we're looking at one of them things that we deal with every day, but at the same time we don't. We're looking at emotion versus logic. And right away, you look at those two things and it becomes a gender war. Because people tend to say women are more emotional and men are more logical. How true that is? Well, it leans towards the whole women are nurturers and men are hunter-gatherers. So because you have to stay on your toe as a hunter, you don't want whatever you're hunting you. So you have to be logical about it. And then the women, because you go out hunting and such, you might get injured. The baby is back at the camp and such. So that's the more emotional side, where they have to take care of you and look out for you and look out for the children. And so I guess from that time, it has just kind of pointed in those directions. But is it really so today? That's one of the big questions. Are women the way they used to be? Do they need to be the way they used to be? 773-789-STEW gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp. Link me. Let's be interactive. Of course, you can jump into the Stew Pot. The Stew Pot is that section on kevinstew.com that others call a chat room. But because we're fancy, we call it the Stew Pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. So come on, and you don't need to sign up for anything. You don't need to register. You're just there. You can remain anonymous, or you can put a name. It's up to you. But it's a judgment-free zone, so you don't have to worry anything about it. Your opinion is welcomed, and we can reason, because at the end of the day, we're looking to have acceptance through enlightenment. Key here, and some enlightenment. Yeah? Cool. So, the great Albert Einstein once said, logic will get you from point A to point B. Imagination, that will take you everywhere. According to birthagency.co.uk, it's an old debate, head versus heart. Sylvia, how you doing? You've been on my mind. Boy, have you been on my mind. I probably need to call you tomorrow. How you doing? Big up Lenny for me. It's an old debate. Head versus heart. What you think versus what you feel. These two forces within our psyche are often portrayed as clashing, creating an inner tension and disagreement within our everyday decision making. You find that to be the case? Is it a clash for you? What has been your situation? What's your story? Our use of language is imprecise at best and allows much of an overlap. For example, how do you know if what you feel is the logical solution, and the two things even separate? Does it matter? How do you choose which you want to satisfy? or you're going to satisfy. Do you even need to satisfy one over the other? The head, our consciousness, our conscious, rational, logical thought processes, takes time and reaches decisions in a considered, analytical way. While the heart, that informs our decision making quickly and reflexively. Though all those emotions we know so well, joy, sadness, love, anger, guilt, the whole human condition, all that come into play. So how do we make the most of these two seemingly disparate aspects of our internal makeup? And yeah, they say they're disparate. They're separate and apart. And how do we make them work together to our advantage, especially in our day-to-day work? Big question, right? What works for you? The more logical side or the more emotional side? As it turns out, the answer is, well, they already do. While emotions make establishing the difference between good and bad difficult, there are effective shortcuts to knowing how we think about something. And the clinical studies suggest that the emotional component constitutes up to 95% of any decision-making process. Now, when you really think about it, if you're going to decide to do something, then that's a whole thought process. When you choose to do something, you don't really think about it much, you just do it. Just because. Without emotions, we cannot quickly and easily make decisions. Logic is all well and good, but it's just the final piece of the decision-making puzzle, with a lot of the supporting work done through emotional input from experiences that we've had. In a creative agency, we want to produce the most innovative work we can, both emotion and logic, and the dynamic relationship between them in our decision-making process play a huge role in our ability to do this. First of all, let's take a look at emotion. Motivational intensity is a term used for how the strength of our emotion impacts our level of creativity. It is the productivity, motivation, and place. Burt Journal entry, we identified intrinsic productivity as the metric for the level of personal interest we have in a project, and motivational intensity as the metric for the strength of our emotions, which supports productivity and quality of work. You think about some of the commercials that we've seen. Sometimes there's a commercial on TV that has nothing to do with the product that they're advertising. You might see a beer commercial, and you're looking at Clydesdales majestically going across your screen, pulling a chariot, and it just looks graceful, and these horses, they're just beautiful, right? Tell me something. Are any of those horses drinking beer? So, what do they have to do with the beer? The creators of these ads are appealing to our emotional side. That now creates the memory. That makes it stick. I don't even know if that beer still uses Clydesdales in its commercial. I don't know. I can't tell the last time I sat down and watched TV like that. Really, honestly. As Burt Agency established in that article, experiences affect our emotions, and as emotions affect our creativity, it is logical to conclude that experiences affect our creativity. Indeed, curious and surprising experiences trigger a mix of emotions which impact our creativity in a variety of ways. The more we accept and embrace changes in emotional state, the higher our affective engagement. This is to say, the more engaged and open we are to what we experience, feel, desire, the more creative we are. Well, in theory, anyway. So, the logical side. To a creative, logic may seem like a barrier, but learning to utilize this, just as we would our emotions, can propel creativity to a new level. Being a creative thinker requires taking risks, and risks can reap big rewards. You know what I say? High risk, high return? That. Creativity means you are allowed an opinion and you get to experiment. There are no limits. Logic requires analysis, time, and limitation. That's kind of boring, right? Yeah. But no, it's not. This analysis is key to structuring all these limitless thoughts that you've had. It is only by balancing these opinionated creations with logical time and thought that we create a finished product of holistically detailed innovation. Who can argue with a creative solution that considers all the angles? No argument there, right? Now, it's a balance that has significance beyond the creative studio. This thing called industry. It has relevance across the agency landscape because in our industry, emotion has a huge impact on the way things work. Emotional intelligence is the ability to control and be aware of our own emotions and be able to express these appropriately to manage and align them with those around you. This involves social skills, empathy, motivation, self-regulation, and self-awareness. Cujo, bless up, bro. At BERT, one of their values is to lead. And they say as a leader, there is a danger of taking motivation too far, creating pressure rather than motivation. But practicing the art of being emotionally intelligent through social skills and empathy enables everyone in the agency to be a leader in their own way. So if you take that and you apply it to your circle, can you imagine? Take that and say, apply it to your household. So you have children and you want them to be their own person and stand out in a crowd versus to blend in. You want them to be leaders, not followers. No, of course, you have to know how to follow in order to learn how to know how to lead effectively. We can debate that all we want, but we won't. Not right now. So you take this ability to free think, you apply logic, and you let your children feel the emotion that they're experiencing. You let them welcome it. You let them embrace it. And you let them apply logic as they go through and work on how they are going to react to this emotion. Now, you could possibly have less impulsive children, because now they feel something, they're going to think about how they're going to react before they do the reaction, and now they end up with a controlled response. So less impulsive doesn't mean that the impulse is gone, just that they're more logical with it. Possible? I think so. Now, both logic and emotion also impact everything or the clients of an industry will do. And so, they know what they want and what they don't want. But often we discover that the really big challenge they experience is not knowing how to get there. That happens in our lives too, our individual lives. So, how do you solve it? Where do you find that place where everything balances out? Emotions are temporary, right? Logic tends to be more long-standing, more durable. We are making decisions all the time using both emotion and logic. So, how then do you make the two work together synergistically to ensure the decisions that we make are the best ones? Well, believe it or not, it's simple. As according to Birth Agency, it's real simple. You wait. Logic is the later process, the key to give yourself enough time to allow it to play its part. Learning to wait for the fleeting influence of emotion to subside so the rational mind can kick in will strengthen the quality of your decision making every time. So, when you apply emotion with logic, you get rationale. You see how that works? And I don't think we take the time to really do the math and work out the equations of it all. But you act logically all the time without emotion. Would your actions necessarily be irrational? Because no, you're taking the emotional component out of it. So if the logical thing to do just is where you go all the time, then consider the other person. The person who did something out of the kindness of their heart, not thinking about how logical it may be, which in and of itself may have been irrational. But you looking at it logically and taking emotion out of it, not seeing their emotional side, that doesn't make it rational either. So the balancing act here now brings rational thinking into play. Pretty cool, right? I think so. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a little break. We're gonna jump off Facebook Live and continue the broadcast on kevinstew.com. Those of you who are on Facebook Live, use the link that is pinned in the comment section. Just come on over. You don't have to sign up for anything. You just, boom, you're there. And it's the rest of the broadcast right then and there. If you want to tune in on TuneIn Radio, you can do that on the app. Those of you who can't and have to go to bed or have to go to work or do something else, the podcast will be available in the morning. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, or you can watch it on YouTube. if you feel like looking at me all the time. That option is available too. So you have the podcast that you can listen to anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. The list goes on. Anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. Even on audiobook, you can get it there. The Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Just search for it if you haven't done so, and you check out other podcasts. Go ahead and subscribe to The Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew and get the new episodes as they come out. Yeah? Cool. We're going to take a quick little break, and we come back. We get into some more. We'll be right back.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about Palace. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This non-profit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, Palace has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
Imagine having our own Caribbean Center.
Imagine a museum highlighting our history and the contributions of Caribbean people to the world.
Imagine being able to visit and learn about the islands we call home.
In a place where our kids can see and feel their cultural heritage. You can make this vision come to life.
Help us create this first-of-its-kind space
that all Caribbean people can be proud of. Your contribution to Island Space Caribbean Museum will help this dream come true.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe and donate today.
Yes, my people. Check out I Red Funks on Reggae Global Radio. Every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Stew, where I'll give you a pre-life. Brand new. Good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't see a dance hall. You hear that?
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Stew and the Night Shift Radio Show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa. DJ Kevin's Stew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line beyond the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's still believing, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christine. It's a hot it up. Loud.
Can you explain that feeling when you're there with that person? Whomever that person may be. This is the sound of Al Third. The track is called Only When Close to You. Well, only when close. Yeah, man, I like it. He goes by the name Al Third. I don't know the story behind the name, but that is the name, Al Third.
Give me what you got, baby, don't you delay.
I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast. Althea is a licensed massage therapist that comes to you operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She brings her table, she brings her oils, and of course her Healing Heavenly Hands with over 20 years of experience. Give her a call, 954-655-9000, or email her at thealater@att.net. Along with being a massage therapist, she's also a personal trainer, so if you have need for those services, one number, one-stop shop. Work out them muscles and then massage them and relax them. Only one request she has outside of paying her: you get off her table when she's done and go sleep somewhere else. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Real Talk. Closing out the night shift week. Right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. And tonight we're looking at emotion versus logic. Is it logical that I get that feeling only when I'm close to you? Is it? Al third, we need to talk. We need to talk about only when close, because I don't know how much logic was applied to your experience, and if it is just emotional, then what happens when you go away? If that feeling goes when you leave, is it logical to say that it's a fleeting emotion? Things that make you go, Have you ever reacted to your situation which would rather later cause you to admit defeat and apologize? One of those situations where you are all in and you are gung ho, and then you have to come back quite sheepishly and say, boy, see what had happened was, one of those things. Megan Madness on medium.com says it was 2015 and I was facing jail time for vandalism. Bad girl, I was upset from a previous altercation with a friend, and instead of looking at the situation logically, which would have been to cease all communication and press charges, I decided to take matters into my own hands and vandalize her vehicle. Where have we heard that before? Perfect example of using emotion instead of logic, right? And often we tend to be more emotional than logical. It's not so far-fetched. Some examples would be debating on social media, arguing with friends and family, communicating with our partners, and even disciplining our children. Most of those come with more emotion than logic. Like me personally, there are some issues that I address, and sometimes people would comment on these when they go back and they listen to the broadcast. The Rodney Reed case is a prime example. Every time I present information on the Rodney Reed case, there are some individuals that would comment on the post, whether it be on social media or on YouTube, wherever it is that they come across the post or the information, and they're disputing the information that I present. And I would engage them and go back and forth. Here's the thing. I only do it up to a point. After I'm done presenting information, that's it for me. Because what happens now is it becomes a debate on opinions, and the individual starts attacking the individual versus the information, and now it becomes emotional. So for me, in a situation like that, I take myself away because it don't make sense. Now, of course, there are some things that I do that I would do on a more emotional level than on a logical level. Those are more personal things. And I would look back at them and go, boy, in hindsight, which is always 2020, I probably should not have done that. Let me go ahead and address this. And depending on the people involved, my addressing it could very well just make matters worse for me. But I address it nonetheless. Now, what happens when you learn to approach situations from a logical standpoint instead of an emotional one? What then? Logic is a tool to develop reasonable conclusions based on a given set of data, right? So logic is free of emotion and deals very specifically with information in its purest form. Specifically. there are many subsets in the study of logic, including informal logic, formal logic, symbolic logic, and mathematical logic. Computers, they use logic, right? Because they have no emotion. Calculators based on logic. So long story short, being logical means approaching a situation with an understanding of the outcome and addressing an issue with proof and comprehension of something without involving emotions. Now, when you see the sad commercials, it would be easy to get wrapped up in an emotion and get angry at people who, like the animal commercials, who are the ones that abuse animals, and you feel anger towards the ones that are abusive, but what does that do? Nothing. It damages your own psyche, but outside of that, it doesn't do anything. So if you approach the situation logically, you then ask, what can I reasonably do to change the outcome? You know, do I go ahead and contribute towards this foundation? Do I go ahead and volunteer to make a difference somewhere? What do I do? When you refuse to let your emotions dictate your actions, you can get a whole lot done productively. However, that does not mean that emotion is not essential. They both have their place. And it is learning when to use them that is a process that takes practice. Now, emotions are psychological states associated with the nervous system brought on by neurophysical changes variously related to thoughts, feelings, behavioral responses, and a degree of pleasure or displeasure. Being emotional can correlate to various elements. If you are approaching a situation from an emotional state, it can hinder your understanding of the opposing side, or even deflate your intelligence due to a lack of logic. Emotions are caused by a signal coming from your heart to your brain. Reacting on emotion is hardly ever a good thing. Apparently, it doesn't end well. Here's an example. If you watch a sad commercial, like we mentioned before, and approach it from an emotional standpoint instead of a logical one, what could happen? Using emotions, especially negative ones, for a situation that would require logic would not do anything to solve the issue with the problem itself or your well-being. If after watching that sad commercial, you decide to get upset, cry, and post your angry feelings about animal abusers online, what are you doing? Nothing but getting you emotionally exhausted. You are not solving any problems. If anything, you are creating more problems because now you are upset. And not only you, but everyone else who sees your post. You're that anger that you have put out on social media. And chances are, they too will reflect emotionally, have an emotional response to it. So your little thing becomes a bigger thing, and it snowballs because they now can take that very same thing and do what you did and put on their share it to their personal platforms, their pages, and other people will see it. There's a time and a place for everything, right? Second time for the day. I'm reading that. There's a time to be emotional, time to be logical. However, deciding which time is right for which mental perspective, that takes some work and some getting used to. So, when is it good to use emotion? Personal experiences Using emotions revolving around your own experiences allows you to be truthful to your story. Whether you were telling somebody on an account or reliving your past. So, emotions work there. When you love someone, logic has a bit of play here, but emotions are what gives us connections. Using a passion for expressing your feelings or concerns to one another. Emotion. In meditation, when you're trying to center yourself or practice mindfulness, you are allowing yourself to be raw in your emotions. When teaching your children, while not all learning should be emotion-based, they need to learn emotions from you. How to love, how to handle stressful situations. Those tend to be on an emotional level. In relationships, whether it be a relationship with your spouse, your children, family, friends, you show them how you care by using emotions. You remove emotions from something like that, and the thought would just be that you don't care. All that is there is whatever use you or purpose you may serve, whether it be to transport or to create a happy moment, give for laughs, for personal pleasure, whatever it is. Once you remove the emotion, that's all there is. Emotions are what separate us from robots. However, we can learn to avoid certain negative emotions, such as anger, sadness, lust. Lust? Negative? I'm playing. Lust is what starts some of these relationships that are long-lasting today. How's that negative? They are what makes us vulnerable. Think of the times you have made emotion-based decisions in your life, which had an adverse reaction. They don't always do, but think of the ones that did. Approaching situations with logic, that now not only corrects the outcome of whatever issue you're approaching, but it also allows you to listen and understand opposite sides of the coin. The best way to find yourself in a place where emotional action does not lead to an adverse reaction is by giving yourself more time between the problems you are facing. Resisting to act on that triggered emotion will enable you to analyze the implications of your actions and choose to logically stray from being emotional. I would dare to substitute choose at that point and say decide to logically stray from being emotional. Now, of course, that begs the question, are you now emotionally distant? Some examples that using logic in place of emotions would come in handy would be like arguing online. I give you my example earlier of my personal experiences with having arguments online, debating an issue. Debating online has become the staple of getting the point across, but using emotions in a debate is not a promising impression. If you become emotional and upset, it is hard to look at both sides, let alone be taken seriously. When problem solving, to solve a problem, whether it be with a friend, a spouse, whomever, it's best to look at facts and approach the problem with logic. Being emotional causes conflict. When spending, boy, this is one right here. Emotional spending, that is guaranteed to cause problems in any relationship. When spending money, use logic because it's essential. If you can't afford it, do not get it. Think of the outcome from future purchases. In judging, they say, judge not lest ye be judged. This right here. Can you imagine if a judge and jury made their ruling based on emotion? Which we've seen happen in a number of cases. Because the information presented was so compelling and they appealed to the emotional side of the judge and jury, or judge and or jury, leaving out the facts. So that's another place where logic can come in handy. When making goals, you're setting goals and standards for your future. You want to be logical about it. Because when you set emotional goals, now they end up being unattainable goals. So how do you learn how to think logically? Is there a way to do it? Is there a formula? Is there a strategy? Understanding how to think logically may seem like common sense, but it isn't. It's pretty tricky when our environment is filled with emotional triggers. So, how do we incorporate logical thinking in our everyday lives? We start off by being mindful. Mindfulness is an excellent method of understanding your thoughts when deciding to use logic or emotion. When practicing mindfulness, you allow yourself to recognize your feelings or your emotions for what they are. Fleeting moments that you can choose to dwell in or dismiss. Megan says, I often get emotional when I hear about child abuse, but then I sit and I think about how my negativeness and emotions do nothing but upset me. So I dismiss them and approach from a logical angle. Yeah, be mindful. Then test your recall. An excellent way to practice thinking logically by testing your mental recall. It could be anything from thinking about what you're going to add to your grocery list, to what chores you have to do, or remembering activities you did last week. Pay attention to the slight details, and over time, this will motivate your brain to utilize critical thinking and the ability to use logic. Learn a new skill. Megan started by doing crossword puzzles and then picked up watercoloring as side hobbies, and it drastically boosts your brain when compartmentalizing tasks that need to be accomplished or things that have to be memorized. So learn something new. Watch for logical leaps. Logical leaps are leaps in judgment when you assume something about a person or an action. Thinking that somebody doesn't like you because of the way they're looking at you is a prime example of using emotion. Try and remember that you can bypass any form of judgment by being aware of your emotional thinking. Learn to take several steps back. Not just one step, but several. If you feel like you're about to get emotional or something has triggered you, pay attention to those mornings. Take a step back. Evaluate the situation. If you're irritated, sad, take some time. Because it may not be the right time to respond. These are not the only methods, but these are some helpful methods. Let me tell you them again. Mindfulness. Test your recall. Learn a new skill. Watch for logical leaps. And learn to take several steps back. So, What then is the takeaway at this point? Where do we go from this moment? You have to understand that it is not possible to eliminate all emotional thinking, nor should we even try to eliminate all emotional thinking. Emotions play a significant role in assembling the fundamentals of relationships, family, and the core of what makes us who we are. They allow us to express our concerns and give credit to our stories and vitalities. But we shouldn't let them be the staple of the way we interact. Thinking logically is essential to growing as individuals. We can recognize a lot more in people and predicaments if we are capable of listening and understanding versus being emotional. We can help how we feel. We can help how we act. We can help what we say. We just need to practice. And you know the old saying, practice makes perfect. But in practice, you have to be patient. I remember when I was learning to play the trumpet, very first instrument I played was the trumpet. And I could barely get a sound out of that instrument. I played the trumpet for, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 months. And then I switched to a bigger instrument because the mouthpiece was just too small for me. And my teacher, who was my father figure, recognized that. So even he had to have the patience and had to take a few steps back and use recall to know what was going on in this situation. And I played brass continuously for about, 25 years from that point. But it was a process. And now, of course, I learned to play other instruments too. Self-taught. And that also required patience and recall and such. But this one had to start somewhere. I had to be taught the fundamentals, had to be taught the basics. And so it took patience to learn how to play these instruments. It took patience to be taught. And even as one who has taught music, I had to have the patience to teach these youngsters that I had in my charge what lines were, what spaces were, what a clef was, whether it be treble clef or bass clef, what a whole note was, what a quarter note, an eighth note for the American way, and those that are listening from over in the UK that learned the other way know what a semi-breve and a crotchet and a quaver and a minim, what all these were. It took time. And in the very same way, we can learn to recognize our emotions and learn how to act on them logically. Not eliminating our emotion, not only being logical, but working with them both. We're going to take another quick little break. When we come back, we talk a little bit more on logic versus emotion, and we're going to try to figure out if there's one that is better than the other. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift to DJ Kevin Stew Real Talk Wednesday. Thanks to the affiliates, NIE Radio, the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com, PEMGTV.com. Truly, truly, truly appreciate of you. We'll be right back after these messages. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com, your links to worship and praise.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
You was my girl from the start. I would never break your heart. Don't listen to everything they say. You know that I ain't out there playing. Number one on the chart. You know how to leave your mark. Just still asking me if I'm staying, but it don't need explaining. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable, but we have unbreakable. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable, but we have unbreakable. Vibes never stop, lit on a yacht. Champagne up, everything must smile. Oh, you're so bad, but look so simple. Smile that they got showing off your dimples. You a bad girl, we do bad girl things. Say you want a real G. Give it to her good, she a beg for some more. She wanna feel me. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable, but we have unbreakable. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable, but we have unbreakable. Every time I'm with you, baby, you drive me crazy. Checking up on you lately, thinking about you daily. We can get high on a natural high, escape reality. Real talk, girl, it ain't no lie. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable.
Linda says,
Unbreakable.
we unbreakable.
You and me together, it will be forever.
Son of the pen.
We have unbreakable.
Yeah, man, son of Hopeton Lindo.
I will never break your heart. Don't listen everything.
The track is called Unbreakable.
I ain't out there playing. Number one on the charts.
Yeah, man, I like it too. Nice little vibe, you know?
I'm staying, but it
I want to welcome you back to the broadcast.
with me together.
Real Talk Wednesdays right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, closing out the night shift week.
Every time I'm with you, baby, you drive
I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Reggae Global Entertainment.
lately. Thinking about you daily.
Acting as your booking agent, taking care of your tour management, your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more. 954-804-8199 gets you in touch with them. That's 954-804-8199. You can also check them out at reggaeglobalentertainment.com. Just tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you, yeah?
You was my girl from the start. I will never break your heart. Don't listen everything they say. You know that I ain't out there playing.
Now, it's interesting when someone comes to you and says, listen,
Leave your mark.
I will never.
You're still asking me if I'm staying, but it don't
Is that an emotional statement or a logical one?
together. It will be
If you believe it,
unbreakable.
are you acting emotionally or logically?
You and me together. It will be forever.
Tonight's topic, for those of you just joining us,
Unbreakable.
logic versus emotion. Emotion versus logic. Whichever angle you want to take it from, who you want to pit against who, don't really matter. It boils down to the same thing. Numbers to get you in touch, 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram. You can Skype me on Kevin.Stew is my Skype handle. You can email me, djkevinstew@gmail.com. Of course, you can jump into the stew pot on kevinstew.com. It's what others call a chat room, but because we're fancy, it's the stew pot, where we keep things interactive and bubbling on the platform, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. kevinstew.com. Real simple. You don't need to register for anything. You don't need to sign up. You're just there. And you can remain anonymous and give your opinions. It's a judgment-free zone. So interaction, feel free to be who you are. Yeah? Cool. So as we're learning, we ask the question, or as we're relating, which is better? Logic or emotion? Because you know, there are two competing thought processes that drive decisions, and that is what they are: logic and emotion. And although the two can occasionally be intertwined, deciphering whether your choices are made by logic or emotions can be an important part of ensuring that you're making the best decisions for your long-term satisfaction. Now, Long Island Psychology put out an article by Mark Schulman back in 2017. And Mark said, according to psychology today, most decisions are driven by emotions. Even though most people think that they approach decision making through logic. Emotions are powerful, but logic, the ability to make decisions using sound and rational thought processes, is something that may be missing from your life. Both of these decision-making tools have their strengths. Logic is, by default, a method of making decisions that uses sound and rational decision-making to find the best conclusion. Emotions, on the other hand, are a true feeling. If logic is the brain, emotion is the heart. And the heart is where happiness is. But what about their flaws? Both decision-making tools are flawed as well. Some of these flaws are what we're going to look at. So, you have a rational decision, or coming to apply rationale, only when you have both components working synergistically. Let me re-emphasize that. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, and I want to emphasize it again. Using one without the other doesn't make your decision making a rational one. So let's look at some of the flaws of logic and emotion. With logic, it requires emotion. Logic cannot always be completed without emotion, especially with regards to decisions that affect life satisfaction. And after all, relationships, jobs, other major decisions, these are not always just pen and paper decisions. For example, logically, a partner may look great on paper, but they do not create feelings of love and excitement. And if so, they may not be the right partner. Logic requires energy. It's not always a simple process. The amount of mental and physical energy that goes into a logical decision may be more than the time and attention than what time and attention allows. Making a logical conclusion quickly, for example, can be very difficult, which is why hindsight is 20/20. Now, emotions, well, they can lie. How you feel may not actually be what is best for you or what your heart really wants. As an example, many former partners, after they break up, feel like they miss their relationship. Some may even give in and get back together, which a lot of times is a mistake. As missing someone, which is an emotion, is common after any relationship simply because a part of your life has changed. Now, if you take out the reason why you are exes, then it is going to come back when you are not exes anymore, if that hasn't gone away, and it's going to be a problem again, and you're going to end up exes again. See? If you haven't addressed that component. So that's one of the drawbacks. And emotions can also be irrational. By default, emotions are not controlled by logic. Thus, you can have emotions that are completely irrational given a situation. Anxiety and depression are examples of extreme versions of such an emotion. Now, in addition, emotions can change the way you think and control behavior, which may mean that your logic may be affected by emotions. And this happens often to those struggling with mental health conditions like depression and anxiety, where their emotions make them think in illogical ways. So their decision making end up being irrational. So which then would be better? That is the big question, right? In many ways, you'll find logic is better than emotion. The more you can think critically and objectively about a decision before you make it, the more likely the decision will be the best for you. The less you are driven only by emotions and instinct, the fewer impulsive and irrational decisions you should make. Doesn't mean that you won't. But also, you shouldn't be without emotion. Emotion still plays a significant role in decision making, including logical decision making. Love and embrace your emotions, but have a strong sense of logic as well. Because you can end up still making irrational decisions. That is what you want to avoid. Again, you strike that balance of emotion and logic, and you'll pretty much be sailing in that rational stream most of the time. Not all of the time, most of the time. So tonight, we get to have a little bit of an extended musical therapy.
The night is cold and it's gonna rain.
And we kick it off with Deja Lewis.
Another night like this again.
The track is called Come On Home. And I invite y'all to come on and enjoy some musical therapy as we close out this Real Talk edition of The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, where we looked at emotion versus logic. Taking this one from the tippy top once more. Of the Sweetness, track called She Fell in Love.
It was right, so good to believe. If you love the songs I'm singing, don't you can feel the powers of my melodies. Your style and comprehension, you've gone from B to Z. You say your voice is full of tenderness. Excuse me, and she must confess. Ooh, I made her day. The first time she heard me singing there, ooh, she could not compare. She wanted me, no other way. She fell in love. She only hear my
have to search no more.
This is the sound of singer Airy.
Like you before, with a mind and a
track called Love Like This.
Know that I found you, my lady. I don't have to search no more. In the morning you wake me up with a kiss, yeah. Greets me with a hug when I come from work. I know that I've made the right choice. Oh, what a woman so nice. Let me love you for the rest of my life. Let me say this again now. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Now that I found you, baby, I don't have to search no more. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Now that I found you, my lady, I don't have to search no more. I know you're an angel sent by God, yeah. Oh, yeah. You do it right every time, oh, baby. Oh, yeah. You judge my mind and soul. My baby, you're in full control. I just wanna tell you, I love you more and more, yeah. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Now that I found you, baby, I don't have to search no more. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Now that I found you, my lady, I don't have to search no more. In the morning you wake me up with a kiss, yeah. Greet me with a hug when I come from work.
I'll be the man close to you, to share sunrise, morning, noon, tonight. I'll be the man.
This is on a Glenn Brown.
Beside you.
A track called I'll Be the Man Close to You.
We just can't hide. For every man, there's a woman to love and be loved. I'm positively sure you are the woman that I vision. I make my decision. A woman like you must be loved. Truthfully, positively, it's a reality. I'll be the man close to you, to share morning sunrise, evening to night. I'll be the man beside you. Let's survive from love we just can't hide. I feel so good knowing you're the woman that I vision. You give vibes, I hope you realize. I'm the man with the charm to keep you warm. Woman, you are my desire. You set my soul on fire. Woman, I love you. Woman, I want you. Oh, I'll be the man close to you, to share morning sunrise, noon and night. I'll be the man beside you. Let's survive from love we just can't hide.
And we feel it's too much pressure. Just bring your love on in.
From one Glenn to another.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
This is Glenn Washington.
I've never been this way before.
A track called Bring Your Love On In.
Myself wanting for more. And even though we are origin from different worlds, I can't control this thing I feel. I want you for my girl. And I'm the one always need the best things out of life. I visualize myself with 2 kids and wife. Heaven must have sent you here. You mean the world to me. You've got the kind of love I need to set my spirit free. 'Cause when we feel it's too much pressure, just bring your love on in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. When we feel it's bubbling over, bring your love on in. Just do it, baby. Just do it, baby. Don't ever let the feelings of mistrust hold you down. Just let me get inside, my love. We'll always be around. Girl, you know I love you down to the very ground. Got no time for someone else. This love is stable and sound. And every woman that I see got something new for me. There is no other to compare. You are my destiny. Take a look into yourself and tell me what you see. You see a place of perfectness reserved for you and me. But when we feel it's too much pressure, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yes, when we feel it's bubbling over.
Don't let your feelings stop you, baby. Just go, 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 baby, go, go.
This is Mr. Ed Robinson.
Doesn't matter what they say about
a track called Go For It.
Just go, 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 baby, go.
Go on, my girl.
Smile.
Go.
And gain some sleepless nights. It's just for a while. Then things will turn out right. Take my hand. I just want to be the man to take you back to reality and fulfill all your fantasy. 'Cause lady, I know you're tired of hearing the same old lies about how much they need you. And lady, I know this time you're gonna make up your mind. 'Cause it's all about you. So go for it. Don't let your feelings stop you, baby. Just go. Just go. Go. Go, baby, go. Just go. Go for it. Just go. Doesn't matter what they say about you. Just go. Just go. Go, go. Go, baby, go. There is something about you that makes me feel this way. Something about you that makes me wanna stay. So take my heart, girl, I gave it all to you. Take my life, girl, you know it's true. And lady, I know you're tired of hearing the same old lies about how much they need you. And lady, I know this time you're gonna make up your mind and let me love you. So go for
For those of you wondering,
don't let your feelings
I'm bouncing through the compilation.
Go, baby.
Called the Love Lane Rhythm.
Go for it. Doesn't matter what
But like
about you.
10 Kung Fu Master.
Go, 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 baby, go. Yes.
This is that crooner once again, Mr. Ian Sweetness. This one is called I Can See Clearly.
clearly. Oh girl, love is not the way that it used to be. No baby, no. I can see clearly. Oh girl, love is not the way that it used to be. The way you used to kiss me, and the way you used to rub me down, the way you used to treat me. You are the best hospitality around. And now you talk to me in a way so shady, that kind of energy. Let me know that it's not like it was. Ooh, girl, love is not the way that it used to be. No, baby, I can see clearly. Ooh, girl, love is not the way that it used to be. Used to be. Just spend more time on the phone, more time with the TV, more time in the parties, no time for the kids and me. I guess it's holding her body, laying next to me, and the energy it gives, yes, I might as on the other side of town. Ooh, girl, love is not the way that it used to be. Used to be, no baby, I can see clearly. Oh, girl, love is not the way that it used to be. Used to be, used to be. 'Cause I need you more and more and more each day.
This is the rose among the thorns. This is Empress Unique.
When you call me on the phone,
She asked the question,
pretending
what you gonna do?
wasn't at home until I heard your voice on the line. I had a change of mind. Yeah. What we gonna do? Oh boy, when you're gonna come? Where you want me, baby? Why I can't get enough of your love? What we gonna do? Oh boy, when you're gonna come? Where you want me, baby? I can't get enough of your love. Why you love me so? You won't ever let me go. Won't let me go. Won't let me go. Our love continues to flow. Over and over it goes. Like milk and honey, we flow. Now that we're talking on the line, I wanna know what, where, when, and why. Maybe I'm not gonna be shy. I wanna know all the reasons why. I wanna know, just gotta know what you gonna do. Oh boy, when you're gonna come? Where you want me, baby? Why I can't get enough of your love? What we gonna do? Oh boy, when you're gonna come?
Empress Unique asked the question, what are you gonna do?
Hey baby, I just wanna get close.
Do you just wanna get close? Peter G working out to Joanna Marie. Their rendition of Close to You.
Just fine.
This is Ed Robinson.
The way you've been all my life.
That's the title of the track right there too. All my life.
Or I'm a dreamer, or I'm just hypnotized. Baby, the moment I laid my eyes on you, I just knew you were the one for me. Yeah. I'm so thankful that we're no longer strangers. You mean the world to me. Where have you been, girl? All my life. Now that I found you, baby, will you stay for life? Where have you been, girl? All my life. Won't you please stay with me for life? Pretty baby, most of our friends think I'm no good for you. They can't believe it's true. I'm with you. Yeah. What they don't know is the way I feel about you. And the way that you're loving me too. Where have you been, girl? All my life.
Where have you been all my life?
Will you stay for life? Where have you been, girl?
Do you know when you found that one that you've been looking for all your life?
Won't you please stay with me?
How can you tell?
For life? Oh, baby.
Hey, baby.
Oh, baby.
Is there something magical that happens? This is Lee Kelly. Track called Magic.
Add a little candlelight and the scent of your sweet perfume, girl. Hocus pocus, now you're in the cute little dress that I like. Don't lose focus of what I'm about to show you tonight. I can do magic, whoa. One snap of a finger, girl, I'll perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, I can do magic. Girl, all you gotta do is dim the lights. I perform a trick or two, baby. Cause I can do magic. I ain't no psychic, but I know just what you need, girl. You don't have to write it. Just looking at your body, I can't read, yeah. You're giving me the eye, and it's making me want you back, girl. Turn around, and guess what's in my hand? Oh, one snap of a finger, girl. I'll perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, yeah. Magic, all you gotta do is in the light. Baby, I can do magic. I make your home disappear. Out of nowhere, there went a rule appear. It's in your nose, you and me. Ooh, baby girl, still need. Baby, see what I'm about to do. Yeah. The wishes come through. All right. In my hand, there goes your glow. This is something you should know.
Yeah, you need to know, you know. There are some things that I am capable of doing.
Anything you want me to do, yeah.
They're quite magical.
All I do is dim the light.
You just dim the lights. Watch me work.
Magic. Just call me Houdini or David Copperfield. I'll be your genie.
You don't have to talk to Lee Kelly about this. Call me Houdini
All you gotta do is dim
or David Copperfield.
Abracadabra, hocus pocus, now.
Come on, Kelly. You can catch Lee Kelly every Sunday night live
Some magic.
at Frontline in Riviera Beach if you're on this side of the world. is on a massive J Ball working out with Arajanai.
Love the way it feels. It's almost like a dream. If the wind
It's called Another Love Song, and what a song it is.
begins, I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really feels to be loved. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. Your love is my resource, my constant comfort zone, and I come to you whenever I'm feeling alone. You never let me down. You always lift my spirit. So grateful that you're with me. I'm thankful that I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really feels to be loved. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. I look forward to every day, even days you stay away. Couldn't have you falling prey to someone else's charms. I love it when you're near me, love. That's when I think clearly, love. Know this might seem selfish, but I really do not care. When you work on trust and you don't stop, ride the waves of love and build it up. Take a leap of faith and don't give in. Love one another. If your love is like an open door, make sure you get what you're looking for. Grab a hold on life and don't let go. Love one another. I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really feels to be love. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you.
If I could make a wish, I think I'd pass.
This is his run,
Of any
his rendition of The Air I Breathe.
no cigarettes, no sleep, no lights, no sound, nothing to eat, no books to read. Making love with you has left me peaceful, warm and tired. What more could I ask? There's nothing left to be desired. Peace came upon me and it leaves me so sweet. Silent angel, go to sleep. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe to love you. All I need is the air that I breathe to love you. All I need is the air that I breathe.
Looking at the beautiful sunshine and disappointment.
Tonight's musical therapy just feels different.
Mind.
You feel it too?
Never like the treatment the last time.
This is the sound of the Twiggyrific one.
Understand
track called Incapable.
So glad I didn't give you my love. Years gone by. So glad I didn't give you my touch. It never ever crossed my mind, but glad you showed me the sign. You're incapable of love. I did not want to get into your way of your relationship, but that's all you have to say. You're playing hide and seek when I'm around. Maybe you did not trust yourself. You avoided me when I'm in town. So glad I didn't give you my love. Years gone by. So glad I didn't give you my good love. It never ever crossed my mind. So glad you showed me the sign of your I said your thought you were my best friend. Thought you were my best friend. Looking at the beautiful sunshine, disappointing thoughts of you cloud my mind. Never liked your treatment the last time. I never understand why were you so unkind. So glad I didn't give you my love.
Hey, cuz.
So glad I didn't give you my love.
Like you're tuning in at the right time. And I'd like for you to know I'm quite capable of love. I might be too capable. Winding down this musical therapy segment. This is G. Cole.
Hello, good morning. There's a lovely day ahead.
The track is called Like a Bird.
Had a tear in my eye, but I wiped it away. I'm smiling instead. Ooh, yeah. I'm missing my mama. She's gone in the spring in the time. But whenever I'm sad, I remember her smile. It turns me around, and it comes and it's gone again. So I leave it to Jah. There's nothing that I can do, and it makes me feel strong again, like I'm starting afresh. Everything's brand new, and I'm so in love with the life that I go to my bed real early, just so the night goes by real fast, and the morning comes. The sunlight really makes me come alive. I feel so free. I spread my wings and fly, just like a bird. Hello, good evening. I can see that you're walking alone. Walking alone. Can tell that you're tired. You've had a long day. Can I walk with you home? Ooh, yeah. The pressures are mounting. You're afraid and weak in knees. Believe me, I've been there before. Just how faith, Jah knows that you see. The feeling comes and it's gone again. So just leave it to Jah. There's nothing that you can do. It'll make you feel strong again, like you're starting afresh. Everything's brand new, and I'm so in love with the life that I go to my bed real early, just so the night goes by real fast, and the morning comes. The sunlight really makes me come alive. I feel so free. I spread my wings and fly, just like a bird.
Lie down and smile now. Let go your fear and I will
to slow down the program without a care and right beneath the sun.
This is Berlicia.
Breeze through the leaves of the trees as they rustle like a
track called Blue Fields of Love.
Times like these, we just need a little peace in a circle like we're having a ball.
Let it take you there.
Lie here, let our minds clear. Ain't got no worries at all. Caught up in the niceness. Time spent with you was priceless. Oh yeah. Fields of love. For every problem there's an answer from above. Time will never be enough. So don't worry about it. Vibrations automatic. Blue fields of love. It's a place that you want to be gentle with yourself and feel the love. Even if your light dims a little, just shine it in my window. Quit fighting with the tears, you can hide them in my pillow. I promise I will be there when your mind can't seem to settle. Let the past go and please understand that baby, times like these, we just need a little peace. I'm my happiest with you and you're the happiest with me. Your love is like gold and I'm rich beyond belief. There's no telling what we can achieve if we just lie here and let our minds clear. Ain't got no worries at all. Caught up in the niceness. Time.
Don't you just love the harmonies in this?
Oh yeah. Fields of love. For every problem there's an answer from above. Time will never be enough. So don't worry about it. Vibrations automatic. Blue fields of love. It's a place that you want to be gentle with yourself and feel the love.
This is Kathy McTate.
Sit back, relax.
It's called Teacup.
There's only sunshine at your back. You know you're chilling where the field's at.
As we get on out of here, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for participating. I want to remind you to look out for members of your community. That your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus and the plane, whether you walk, ride, or drive on the train, or the boat, or the plane, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow.
Oh yes.
My name is DJ Kevin Steele, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, on the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele. Join me on Saturday as we do the Saturday Stew on Reggae Global Radio, 8 p.m. Eastern. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands. Give them a call, 954-406-9740. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. Thank you, McNeil Trucking. I don't want to encourage you to be good until we meet again, but if you can't be good, go ahead and be good at it. Take care. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you, wherever you are in the world, from right here in South Florida. I bid you a good night.
And the vibe is right. Oh yes, oh yes. Kick off the shoes and put your feet up. Sip the color in your teacup. I ain't got no troubles, and you ain't got no troubles, and thinking of nothing at all. My head is like ayo, 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 free, free, free. I'm like ayo, 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 free, free, free.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune into the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.